What the heck is up, you guys? It's your boy Ace, aka Animated Heroes here, back with another action figure review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the 1/12 scale collectible action figure one-shot toys, Spirit Fox, or my boy Kurama from Yu Yu Hakusho. Let's go ahead and dive right into it. Just a friendly reminder from your boy Ace, don't forget to check out my boys at Omnime Store so that you can pick up some of the latest releases from MyFX, Dawson Model, Demoniacal Fit, and more for some of the best prices and the fastest shipping. Let's get into it. Now, starting off with that sexy packaging, as you can see, the color of it is a bit more on the red side, considering the fact that it is Kurama and he does wear red. You got the window where you can see the figure, almost like a silhouette image right there. A little bit of a red stripe right here with some white, some blacks, yada, yada, yada. 1/12 scale collectible action figure, one-shot toys. Don't know what that says at the bottom. This says S002. Guessing it's just them saying second figure in the line. Nothing at the top. Spirit Fox Reborn on the bottom. On the side, same thing. On this side, probably says the same thing. I don't know. Then on the back, we do have another silhouette image, which is really cool. Ages 15 and up, choking hazards, yada, yada, yada. The stuff that no one cares about, made in China. Yeah, anyway, let's go ahead and bust this guy open because this is a figure we have been waiting a long time for, especially if you bought the Yusuke. Now, first things first, straight out of the packaging, I just got to give a big shout out to Omnime Store for sending this my way to review. Guys, if you have not shopped with Omnime Store yet, go and check them out. The link will be in the description below. They always come through in the clutch when it comes to ordering action figures, and they have everything that you can think of, and they're still growing. So go check them out. Tell them Ace sent you. Now, anyway, on to the figure. Now, the first thing I'm going to do before I even dive into it, I'm going to go ahead and outline the problem that everyone already had. Because I know a lot of people were not a fan of the head size on this figure, and I'm not really either. But other than that, the head size, it does kind of mess with the proportions a little bit. But one thing that I actually figured out is it's not so much the head size, but how low it sits. Like, it looks like his neck is missing, but if you actually could get the head to sit up just a little bit higher, it looks a little bit better. Now, it doesn't fix the problem that the head is still oversized, but for you customizers out there that are planning on picking up this figure, that will be something that makes this figure look a little bit better. But overall, head and hair sculpt does look like the character quite a bit. I already know some people are going to want the comparison between this and the Dawson model, so here you go. This is the difference between the two of them. Obviously, the head on this looks better, but I'll be honest, I think the body on the Dawson model is actually, I don't know, I don't think it's as good as the one-shot. Like, I feel like this is a little bit better of a body, and I know articulation-wise this is a little bit better because the fabric doesn't hinder this one as much as it does the one-shot toys. And so, or the Dawson model, I'm sorry. The Dawson model is the one that has a little bit more hindrance. But overall, both of these head sculpt-wise looks good. It's just the face sculpts with the big head. Now, one thing I do want to say that one-shot toys did better. It's something, if you watched my Kurama review, that I wish that they did. This hair sculpt here on this version, I wish was like this, because if you tilt the head down, this hair just kind of sits up and there's nothing you can do about it. But on this one, it's actually two separate pieces, and it doesn't look the best, but I still think that this is something that should have been necessary. I wish they would have made the hair two separate parts, and so it would have made the other one a little bit better. But anyway, figure looks good. Proportion wise, I think he's fine. The only thing I feel like could have been a little bit better is how lanky he is, because Kurama's actually pretty tall, and there is a certain leg to upper body ratio that he's drawn with. I don't think this version captures it as much as this version, but again, this is a smaller version, and I can't compare it to the Yusuke. I no longer have it. I wish I did, but I went all in on these, and so I don't have the Yusuke to go with this guy, but I will show some size comparisons between this and the Dasen model a little bit later. The Dasen model Yusuke, of course. But yeah, overall, still a nice looking figure. I really do like this red a whole lot better than I do this one. This is more on the pink side, and I know I like the body better on this one as well. So those are two things I do like better about this one. One last thing I just noticed at this moment was they actually put the laces and everything on the shoes for this one. These are just kind of black. Now, I don't know which is accurate. I'll see if I can find a picture on Google or something, but either way, more detail I always like a little bit better. But simplicity, you can't go wrong with it. And sometimes Yu Yu Hakusho was drawn very, very simple. So anyway, let's go ahead and move on. That part was a little bit longer than I wanted it to be, but had to give an introduction to the figure. Now for the height of this guy to the top of his head, as you can see, he's a little bit under 6.5 inches to the top of the spike on his hair. To the top of his head, he's actually about 5.5 to the top of his forehead. So pretty small figure. Once again, I don't have Yusuke to compare him to, but the difference is this is a true 1/12 scale figure versus the Dasen model is actually 7-inch, so he's going to be taller. It's really all about preference. Now, when it comes to the articulation, he looks up about that much, which isn't too bad, and with the way the eyes are painted on, it does look like he's looking up. He can tilt his head down only a tad just because of how big it is, so you're not going to get it to go any further than that, but it still does look like he's looking down. So there you go. He does get really good tilt, turn, all that good stuff. His arms do go up and out about that much. Not a whole lot, but it does work. He does have a really good butterfly joint, actually. You just got to be careful because of the way the arms are in there, but yeah, that butterfly joint works very well. He does have a bicep swivel. When it comes to the elbows, always look for them before you start bending. It is double jointed, I can tell. His hands are on, let's see, I think it's a ball peg. Yeah, it's this tiny little ball peg, but it's actually very, very tight right there, so I don't think you have to worry about that breaking. Doesn't feel fragile at all, and then there that is. He does have a really good ab crunch. I can't tell. I'm pretty sure there's a diaphragm joint in there also, but he leans forward about that much, back a whole lot. That's really freaking good. Yeah, he can go all the way back, and that's dope. One thing I do want to mention while it's on my mind, you can't take this off. And so I know some people probably would want to, but you can't take that off. So yeah, in terms of the pockets, you can actually slip the ball pegs into the pockets. That's not a problem. As far as the leg goes, he only kicks up about that much. That's a little bit disappointing. I wish he kicked a little bit further, but clothes do cause hindrance. Doesn't really go back much. He does have a built-in thigh swivel, double jointed knees. He can do the splits about that much. I wouldn't recommend going any further than that, but that's actually still pretty good. Foot goes down very, very well. Foot goes up very well. He does get really great ankle rocker, and he does get a toe hinge, which is something that the Dasen model is lacking. So articulation wise, he does beat it out by a little bit, but like I said, certain areas are a little bit restricted. And as far as the hair goes, I don't really consider this to be articulated just because of the way that it's on the peg. As you can see, that's not really meant to go anywhere. It's just kind of made to hold its place whenever you move the hair around, or the top part of the hair. But that's about all that it's useful for. So yeah, I'm not going to consider that as part of the articulation. Now moving on to the accessories, straight out of the package, he does come with a neutral head sculpt and a pair of fist hands. For extra face plates, he does get a smiling face where he's looking to the side. He gets a teeth gritted face. I don't really care for this one. He doesn't look as serious as I think he should. And then he does get a face where his eyes are closed. Once again, a little lackluster in terms of how it looks. Not really a fan of any of the face plates, but anyway, yeah. Moving on to the hands, he comes with a pair of reaching, grabbing hands. He comes with another pair of reaching, grabbing hands, or stylish pose, whatever you want to use them for. A pair of relaxed hands, a pair of hands for holding his rose whip, and then he does come with a designated hand for holding an actual rose, which this looks pretty good actually. You just slide it into the little hole right here, and then he holds it. I don't think well, actually, you can push it all the way through, but I don't like doing that when it comes to these type of accessories. Not that it's a problem with this company, it's just something I've seen with a lot of companies where they'll get stuck in there and then something will break when you try to take it out. So I'd probably go only about that far, but it does fit in pretty well. He comes with this little item right here, which I don't remember what this is. I'm thinking it's something early Yu Yu Hakusho, because I just rewatched the Dark Tournament all the way to the end, and he didn't use this then. So I don't know what this is. But yeah, somebody let me know in the comments. Now, the last accessory he comes with is his Rose Whip, which I think this looks really dang good. I love the thorns on it. I wish it would have been a little bit darker of a green, but I like this a whole lot. I actually like this accessory much better than I like the one that came with the Dawson model version. I feel like this one is a little too green, and it's very thin, and it's not nearly as lengthy. So, I don't know. When it comes to accessories, I think that One Shot Toys is absolutely killing Dawson model. Figure-wise, not so much, but accessories, yeah, they definitely take the cake. And then, of course, he does come with a stand, which has the silhouette image from the front of the box on it, and a couple of leaves around it. I don't know why they didn't paint those green, but it doesn't really matter. It's fine. I love the fact that it's a small stand because it doesn't take up too much space. But yeah, that's pretty much what it looks like right out of the packaging, and there you go. Always happy when figures throw in stands instead of charging extra for them. Now, one last thing I did want to show off in case you do have both versions and you like the body better on the One Shot Toys but the head sculpt better on the Dawson model, you can swap these for a perfect Kurama. And I think this actually looks really good. I like this a whole lot more. And it actually puts Kurama back in that 6-inch scale, and the proportions seem to line up just fine. So there it is. Smaller head and better body, just in case you want to try it out. Now, moving on to size comparisons, here he is standing next to all of the Dawson model releases that we've gotten so far. We've got Yusuke, of course, Kurama, and my boy Hiei. And as you can see, this Kurama from One Shot Toys is only taller than Hiei, which, I mean, that makes sense. This Hiei still should be quite a bit smaller, but there they are. There's a size comparison between them all. Moving on to actual 6-inch figures, here he is standing next to an SH Figure Arts Jujutsu Kaisen Greatness, Sukuna, my boy My Hero Academia, the Figma Deku, and of course Kimetsu no Yaiba or Demon Slayer Tanjiro from BuzzMod. For some randoms, here he is standing next to a Fortnite Victory Royale series from Hasbro Lynx, the Mafex or Metacom Toys Batman Hush Superman, and the Marvel Legends Retro Wave Symbiote Spider-Man. And lastly, for some extras, since I just got back off watching the movie, here he is standing next to a Marvel Legends comic book Doctor Strange, and of course the greatest superhero of all time, the Mafex or Metacom Toys, the Dark Knight Batman. Now, for my final thoughts on this guy, I gotta say, there are some things that I like and some things that I dislike. And I'm kind of on the even side because I think the body of this figure is great. And I said that before with the Yusuke review. I love the molds that they use when it comes to making these figures. That's good. The accessories automatically has Dawson model beat. For one, because it comes with more, and also I just like the accessories better, especially the Rose Whip. I even like this little flower. It's a dope accessory. The expressions I don't really care for, and the head size I don't care for. Those are my main issues with this figure. But another thing I do like is the scaling. I want to be able to pose Yusuke next to Goku or Luffy or I don't know, whoever is made in 6-inch form. And it kind of bothers me that I can't do that with the Dawson model, or I really have to kind of force it and take very perspective shots. Or if I'm just standing them on my shelf, they just don't look like they go in scale well together. And I love a shonen collection, man. I'm an anime fan. You guys know what's up. Now, that being said, this is going to fit in very well on your shelf. It's going to look very nice. And if you're not someone who poses your figures around or you care about the looks all that much, I think that this figure will fit in your collection just fine. Now, that being said, though, When it comes to looks, the only issue I have is just the size of the heads. I really wish they would scale these down. I don't know how they made this mistake. It doesn't break the figure, but it's definitely not something that makes the figure, man. I really hope that at some point I'm not going to say necessarily re-release, but they release like head sculpt packs for these. Or if you have both versions, like I said, you can swap the heads out and make the perfect 6-inch Kurama figure. More than likely, you could do it with the Yusuke figure if you have the Yusuke. And I don't know who all they're going to be releasing in the future. It says that Kuwabara is up for pre-order, if I remember correctly. I'm more concerned with how they're going to do Hiei, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Overall, it's a fun figure. It's very cool. If you like Yu Yu Hakusho, get your hands on it. I mean, at least experience the figure, because who knows? If you already have the Dawson model, you might end up liking this one more. It does look really good. I'm not going to lie to you. So that being said, that's my review. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That always helps me out. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And make sure to hit that bell icon to be notified whenever I upload new content. And lastly, follow me on everything you see listed in the description below to keep up with my activity outside of YouTube. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe wherever you are. And bye. Go get this figure.